All right, so we made it through our discussion of nouns, adjectives, adverbs, and verbs. Somebody raise your hand and tell me what a noun is. If I say it's a noun, what is that?
Person, place, or thing.
Person, place, or thing. Perfect. All right, so what's a verb? Somebody raise your hand. Scott. It shows action or a state of?
Feeling. No, not feeling. Motion.
Being. State of being. So action, a state of action or a state of being. Perfect. What is an adjective? Somebody raise your hand.
Something that describes a noun.
Describes or
Modifies.
Great. What is an adverb? Somebody raise your hand. Yes.
I forgot that thing that we went over.
It's close to what we just did.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it to a noun. It describes or modifies a what? It's an adverb. So it describes or modifies a verb or a
Adjective.
or an
Noun.
another adverb. Perfect. Beautiful. All right. So that kind of lays a decent foundation for our understanding of grammar before we get into this essay. Okay. But today we're going to knock out pronouns. Like I said, this may or may not be quite as familiar to you as the other topics we've discussed. Before we even pull up the next thing, can anybody tell me what a pronoun does?
It's a specific person, place, or thing, which is a specific noun.
It does something with nouns. You're right.
It describes the things.
Not quite.
Ownership.
Not quite.
It's a specific type of noun.
It replaces a noun. It replaces a noun. So, for instance, somebody raise your hand and give me a proper noun in this room.
Caleb.
Kayla. Kayla took Kayla's homework to Kayla's house to do Kayla's homework, or something like that. What's wrong with that sentence? Raise your hand. Yes.
Too many Calebs.
Too many Kaylas. Well put. Well put. Too many Kaylas. So, what would we do to make that sentence better? Somebody raise your hand. Somebody new. Jakaya, could you make that sentence better? Kayla took Kayla's homework to Kayla's house. To do whose homework? Her homework. Her homework. So you replaced all the Kaylas with pronouns. Yeah, exactly. So that's what pronouns do. So here's the definition that you might want to use for pronouns. Pronouns take the place of nouns. Okay? So jot that down. Yes, sir. What's that? He, she, it, they, we, whom. Yep, all that stuff. Yeah, we'll go over that in just a minute. I'll show y'all. No. I'll show y'all some examples of some. But right now, you need to first understand that pronouns take the place of nouns. If we were to take a pop quiz, say on Thursday, hypothetically speaking, on grammar, hypothetically speaking, pop quiz on Thursday, hypothetically speaking, on grammar, hypothetically speaking, you might want to know this is that. Thumbs up if that makes sense to you, what I just said.
Nope.
Okay, I just dropped a hint bomb on you.
Wow.
That's what,
All right, so this is just like the example we did with Kayla. Tim went to Tim's house to do Tim's chores. Obviously, that's a silly way to put it. So we would fix that sentence by, somebody raise your hand and tell me how we might fix it. Again, Adriano?
Tim went to, him, right? Went to his house to do his chores.
Perfect. You just pronoun that. You pronounced it like a pro. Perfect. All right, so subjects and objects. Here's where we add a little bit of complication to this, okay? And now, you've heard this. This is review, but it might have been a while, so we're going to touch on it real fast. Subjects take actions in sentence. Subjects take actions in sentences. So, if I say, Jim threw the ball, who's taking action in that sentence? Jim is taking action in that. What's the action he's taking? He threw. Yes.
So subjects are like another word for verbs. Because verbs.
No. Actions are like another word for verbs. Subjects take verbs in a sense. So if I said Jim threw the ball, The subject is Jim. What's the verb? See?
And the ball is a noun.
It is, and we're about to get to that, but
Don't
just
get
hang
me
tight.
crazy. I know what I'm talking about.
Remember
Sorry.
the 15 minutes? Get your salsa down.
All right. Objects don't take action. So you said objects are a what now, Courtney?
Noun.
Noun. What type of what? So the ball on that is a what?
Noun.
And
Oh, object.
it's an object. That's right. All right. But pronouns, since pronouns take the place of nouns, pronouns are oftentimes objects as well. So you've got two different types of pronouns.
I thought the objects go in a sentence.
He punched her. She told on him.
Like, she told.
She told on him. She told on him. So what's the subject? Somebody raise your hand. Ashlyn. Hey, Ashlyn, what's the subject of she told on him? What's the subject? What do subjects do? Read this. Subjects take action. So what's the subject of she told on him? Subjects take actions. So what's the subject of she? Who takes action in this sentence? Who takes action? She. She told on him. There you go. So that's the subjective sense of the pronoun. Yes.
Huh?
Did you have a question?
I know, I was going to ask you.
Oh, okay. I'll get to you in the next one. All right.
Pronoun case.
So look, here are your pronoun cases. First of all, you need to understand, I will print this chart for you guys. You don't have to worry about writing this chart down. I'll give you a copy. What I need you to do, though, is understand it. So we're about to run through it really quickly, okay? Hey, Cyrus, what's the first person objective plural pronoun up there?
What?
Oh.
Okay? I need you to, you don't have to write this chart down, but I want you to understand it. Kyra, what is the first person objective plural pronoun on the board? Us. Plural. Objective. First person. Okay? So look, we just discussed the difference between objective. We just discussed the difference between objective and subjective, right?
Yeah.
Which means if your pronoun is taking the place as being a subject in a sentence, you need to use one of these. If it's the object, you use one of these. Because these don't take what? Raise your hand.
Action.
That works, yeah. Doesn't take action. You don't say, me ran down the road. You say, I ran down the road. I know that you understand that because of the way it sounds, but you need to understand it because of the rules. Me doesn't take action, I take action, okay?
Me as an object, you ran this way. Choosing the correct. Bruh. That's easy.
Oh my God.
I'm burning out.
Todd and somebody raise your hand and give me the answer to this one. Adriana. Why?
Because it gotta be first person, and me, it don't sound right in it. Because that you would be saying it's him
What is
and
this?
him.
What is this word?
Went,
And is that, what type of verb is that?
pronoun, wait, what? No,
What type of verb is went?
action.
Action. So this is doing this, right? So it's taking what? What type of word is this?
Action, what?
So it's taking
An action,
an action. And what takes action?
a verb.
Jakaya, what takes action? Yes, because it's the...
I just said something.
Okay, say it. Subject. It's the subjective form, right? And me is the what?
Object.
Objective form. Good job.
Object.
She wants to talk to
Me.
Me, because who's taking action here? She, which makes me the
Object. Yeah.
Raise your hand. Mars.
We. I mean us.
No, you got it.
Oh.
Who's taking action?
Oh, teacher.
We love. We love. That's a tricky one because it doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right.
I had to read it first. We love.
It's easy to get the ones right that sound wrong. It's harder to do it when it doesn't sound right to your ears. We teachers love giving homework. Not us teachers love giving homework. Because the object is homework.
Second person is on us.
It's obviously. And then
Take teachers out. This is objective. This is objective. This is objective. Us is objective. All right. Here's some other pronouns. It, it's, everyone, everybody, many, several.
Stop talking, bro.
Many, several, okay? Anything that takes the place of a noun. Now, those nouns that they take the place of. Anybody want to guess what they're called? Raise your hand. Hey Ben, what do you think what do you think we call the nouns that pronouns take the place of? What do you think we call the nouns that pronouns take the place of? Any guesses? Shot in the dark? Anything at all that you might think that it might be? Hey Rashika, what do you think? Any guesses? Antecedents. Gosh, you're a genius. You guys should be teaching this class. Y'all are amazing. Antecedents are the nouns to which pronouns refer. Okay? Easy peasy. Chris went to the store by himself. Where's the antecedent? Raise your hand. Never mind, don't raise your hand. Where's the antecedent? What's the antecedent in this sentence? What's the pronoun that refers to Chris? Beautiful. The dog wagged his tail. Courtney, what's the antecedent?
His. Oh, dog.
Dog wagged his tail. His is the pronoun. Most students want lockers, but many are not responsible enough. This one's a little trickier. What's the pronoun, Cameron?
Most students.
What takes the place of students later on in the sentence? So, pronouns take the place of nouns, right? Students is our noun, which is our, what's it called?
Antecedent.
So what takes the place of students later in the sentence? Many. There you go. Vague pronouns, this is a problem that happens a lot. That's when the antecedent is not clear. Take the radio out of the car and fix it. Why is it not clear in this sentence? Cyrus. What is it referring to in this sentence? Kyra, what is it referring to? What is it referring to? What'd you say? Okay. What else could it be referring to, Kyra? The car. That's why it's vague. Because it could refer to either one of them. They could be saying, take the radio out of the car and fix the car, or they could be saying, take the radio out of the car and fix the radio.
But you wouldn't need to take the radio out of the car and fix it.
You might if whatever you're trying to fix is behind the radio. Maybe it's like a giant, maybe it's not the radio that's in the car, maybe it's just a giant stereo system and it's just taking up too much room in the trunk and they need to fix the trunk latch. I'm just saying, that's poor grammar. It's vague, alright? What's poor grammar? The teachers told the students that they would have to come back to school over the break. Who has to come back to school over the break, Jakaya? How do you know that? It could totally be the teachers, see? Vague pronouns. You need to make sure that your pronoun in writing essays, you need to make sure that the pronoun that you use is clearly referring to its, what's the word that it replaces? It's
Objective.
Adjective.
antecedent.
No.
Just because it starts with an A. Good guess. Hey, I like the effort, if nothing else. All right. Reflexive pronouns.
It reflects on yourself.
Oh, gosh, that's beautiful. It refers back to the
Person. Subject.
Oh.
In 2017. Wow.
Good job. All right. Reflexive pronouns. May